Hey guys, welcome back. It's Green Reaper coming at you for another video of Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully doing well, and hopefully you're looking after yourself and have a positive start to the weekend wherever you are. It's Friday, is here, and no, we're not doing a shard video for today. It's an interesting day for sure. Actually, how many shards do we have? 10. I've been away for the past few days, as you can probably tell that I haven't uploaded in the 4 days, which I think is probably only the second time since I've been a full-time content creator that I haven't uploaded. So it's mainly because I've just been sick and I've been quite sick as well. So I had a really bad infection and really bad fever, and I'm just starting to get on the mend now. So we are slowly and surely working our way back there. Today's video, I wanted to do a champion showcase. I've recently rebuilt him. He's one of my first ever mythicals that I achieved, and boy, I've already spoke good of this guy. He's an absolute beast and an absolute cannon of a champion. And we're talking about KARNAGE. Now, KARNAGE is a MVP for me for live arena and just in arena in general. And he gets played on a daily basis. And I really, really like this guy. Now, I'm going to go through some tricks and some tips and tricks with him today, with you guys, about how to use KARNAGE and the perfect team synergies with KARNAGE to really unlock his full potential and help him take to the next level. He's obviously good in multiple areas in P versus E, but he is a P versus P champion. So we'll talk about that today in today's video overall. So I have made videos passing about him in Hydra and Chimera. Now for Chimera, you do need a 6-star blessing for him, and you are running Crushing Rem Mastery, and you're flipping between Form 1 and Form 2 to maximize the damage for him. And so I use a natural wrath, sorry, and maximizing the damage for him with a cat gaze relic. You really do need that 6-star blessing. Now for Hydra, he's a fantastic Hydra DPS champion. He's a bit squishy without the 3-star blessing, but mainly just using him for Form 2. You stack up the debuffs on Hydra heads and etc. etc. I don't use him in Hydra anymore because we'll have a Titus team from the team and whatever else. I don't need to move gear around. And he is Rena Fakers, so I have me like Rena Relic and Blessings, etc. So I did show him kind of slightly his new rebuild already on one of my live arena videos, but I wanted to kind of do a breakdown today, show you what he can do in Hydra as well. So his kit is great. You can go for his kit as a triple hitter. Overall, he can do this ability as well, Seer, which is okay, but Self Cleanse is pretty nice and can steal the stone skin if it can. This can do quite a bit of damage as well and ignores resistance overall. It has a speed on all battles by 33, which is the biggest other than Odin, and Odin is Void Affinity and has a great passive as well. He is a menace, and then on his second form, he has one of the highest base attacks in this game behind my big head with the base attack of 1960, and he has reasonable stats across the board and good speed as well for a nuker. So obviously he's the hardest mythical to get other than the faction war champion, and so he's probably the second hardest mythical to get, but he's definitely well worth the wait, and he will add I think he would pretty much add to anyone's roster. He's definitely a go first champion. I don't really like him for go second teams because he's a bit squishy, and there is multiple ways that you can build him, and I've seen people build him, so which I'll talk about when we're covering his builds. First of all, what we're going to do is I'm going to take him into Faction Wars, and we're going to run him in Faction Wars team, and I'll show you that as well. And I'll show you what the arena build can do in Faction Wars, because it's going to be one of his main spots. He is an MVP, and he gets in anyone's Faction Wars team for Demon Spawn overall. He's probably the most important bit. Honestly, he can help you with so much of the trials, and he's just a great DPS, and he can keep himself alive against boss with the healing factor as long as he hits hard enough, which honestly is not that hard. He's probably one of the few mythicals in a game as well where 5 out of his 6 abilities have god like multipliers. You guys will see me speak about this guy in multiple collabs, and he's one of my favorite mythicals in this game. I do run a lot of Carnage in Arena as well, which is obviously going to be in today's showcase as well, which is fantastic for you guys. So let me go ahead, let's get the team ready for Faction Wars. All right then, so this is the team. We have Lamassu for buffs, we have Commodus for buffs, and some CC to deal with the Shadow King champion. Then we have block buffs, cleanser, reviver, meat shield, whatever you want to call her, and then a reset champion and DPS overall. So it's a really solid team. I'm gonna play some music in the background as they put me talking. It's a pretty standard team, and I've done a full team showcase on this already, but we're going to mainly look at Carnage damage for today. So let me go ahead and let this run, and I will mute the camera and mic as this is running. You guys can enjoy the music. Alright, you can see that that was quite a bit of damage from Carnage. His A2 pumping out some damage. You've seen it hit for 1 million. You've seen that the E1 was hitting for 500,000 on the E1. Bear in mind, there's no defense down. There's no recon. The guy's ignoring so much ignore defense. That's the only reason why Commodus isn't really in here. Is try and help to lock down the champion unity on the second wave, because sometimes on Mangle I will flip back with Commodus, lock him down with the block tap skill. 6-star speed lift will take it overall, and you can see that this was pretty nice as well here. So yeah, Commodus doing his shenanigans. Sorry, not Commodus. Him doing his shenanigans. We're gonna get to 67 now, so we'll have a mythical summon at some point. I probably will mix it with Chimera, just so we don't get champion unity faction war one, I guess. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, that's not the point. So the point is a really solid one, and it's a pretty great. So I'm gonna get a teams ready now for arena, and we'll have a look at him in the arena overall. All right, so I had to get some more points for arena, and get some more points generally because I wanted to hit better teams and give you guys a solid showcase in today's video. So we're going to hit this team. We're going to try and take on the Nice. I want to show you what he can do against the Nice. Now, the Nice is obviously strong affinity if we get lucky on the weak hits, which can happen time to time. So I don't think it's the most beneficial way of counter Nice, but I'll be honest, there is no really strong counter to Nice. They're all RNG counters against it, so it is a bit subpar. But we're gonna come with this style of team to take him on and see what we can do. I'm actually gonna drop him for Armads because I do need to drop back the turn meter whilst I do this. So let me go like this and see what we can do here. Now, obviously, we're looking to lock down the whole team. Hopefully, there's no sonk set here to make my life harder. We're obviously going to go into Armand to give him the pinpoint to protect me against sheep and wands. Like, we don't want him to go abracadabra. We have look for sheeps. We can see there's no sheeps, no reason to play the thingy. I think Fabian is missing gear. He seems to be naked like a chicken. And then we're going to try and take him out. Now mine is about 450 accuracy. And the first hit's going to do the block block passive skill. The second one will do the block active skill. And the third one still the turn meter. So it should allow him to flip. So I think the first one got ignored. I think we got resisted weak hit or something like that, which kind of sucks. But I do like the Lamasu synergy with Embers, and that is with Carnage, because it helps set up his block revive. Now it's 3 debuffs or more to get the block revive. It's not always easy to get the 3 debuffs. You can't use sleep on that as well. You can spread the buffs. You can see here we have met the conditions. Unfortunately, we have no increased attack. We have no increased accuracy. So that is the best way to increase our damage. And we've lost our buff from the relic material. So from the mythical relic. So we are looking a bit dull. Now with strong affinity against Nice, weak affinity against Nice, we're going to use this ability because it's a double hitter. We'll have to be extremely lucky to not be able to get the kill here, but we will do our best. So we're gonna go pop, pop. We do get a weak hit on the second try, unfortunately, and he's gonna get his chance to shine if he doesn't get closed down quickly. So it's gonna be one of them ones. And I will be honest, I think this is just a really poorly built nice as well. And you can see here we did kill, so we have got our shatter buff back. Now we're going to do the A1 because again A1 is a double hitter, and 1 out of 2 hits is what we need. 78k damage on A1, no defense down, no weaken. You can see behind my head he's done 232 million, 232,000 damage on that as well. Pretty solid as well. He's really good against Harima when he has a chance to be played against Harima. And what I mean by that is Harima he'll have a chance to lock down Harima. So I'm thinking about the Fabian. If he's faster than me, the Fabian should cut in and do the lockout. And obviously, we don't need the Team Presence on him because we have got Team Presence on other champions. So it's just a case of trying not to weak hit on the Armands to gain the win here. We'll play the E3 here because again we want to set up the block revive. Now he is Shadow King, so he does need to play the abilities against the Harima, so he doesn't weak hit on her. So that's one thing we'll have to do. Now we can see that here we have polymorph, polymorph, and then Sifi and Thingy don't have polymorph. So ideally what we're going to do is try and land this on champion that doesn't have the polymorph, and you can see because we killed, we then had a 100% chance to transfer all debuffs, and now we are set up. We have closed down her passive, so we now can strong hit her and not weak hit her. We have closed down Arbiter, so she can't revive, and we closed down Armad as well, so we can't revive. Can't do any CC as well. We're going to play this into here, and you know the Blim point does protect him against cheap as well, which is a very useful debuff. So we got 3 debuffs here. We have 3 here and 2 here, so that sets us up for the block revive. No increase attack, no increase accuracy, no defense down, no weaken as well to increase our damage. Let's have a look at what he can do. Oof. So satisfying. when Harima drops to Mr. Carnage. Again, 258 damage. He's got some big numbers, right? I say big numbers because he's got no increase attack or anything like that. Again, cock has become a very meta. Do we want to get cock slapped right now? I do not want to get cock slapped right now. You can see that this is a bit of an annoying team. Now it's got the wrong blessings, etc. That shenanigans. The cock can ignore polymorph, etc. But the block tactor skill is really good against mythicals on as well. So he's a good affinity for this. Now with all these force affinity nukers coming in, you had Ashnar had reworks, Cox had reworks, and we had the who else? Embrus as well. Free force meta nukers that come into it that give synergy to Carnage. Now, Fabian is really difficult to take on because he can self cleanse his passive. So, the only two ways to really control a Fabian is to deal to lock him out or to lock him use a block type of skill like a Rantu or a Carnage to lock him out. Now, normally Rantu Fabians have low resistance, so we don't have to worry about accuracy. I used to run around about 300 to 350 accuracy on mine all the time. But I do run other things now, so I do run a bit more. So again, we're gonna check for sheep, but no sheep. And then we're gonna look for a champion that we can land all 3 debuffs. I can take the 3 debuffs because we've got a lot of ignore defense, and then we can spread the debuffs as round. So we're gonna go for cop 1, 2, 3, slap him 3 times. We didn't get caught slap today, and we spread it to the debuffs. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like we did kill before it's finished. You can see that the counter attack is very nice as well. We haven't removed the stone skin off him as yet, so that'll be something that we're waiting on. But he can't do anything because Fabian's dealt with him. We're gonna try to remove the stone skin. We do. He's gone. La night. Ata. Benito. Je profite. And we are working on this. And now we're gonna take out this lovely lady as well. Now, because he had stone skin, I didn't see the point of flipping into second form. And then we let him do his shenanigans there as well. And to close down his team, he's really good against mythicals. We have a Catrixia here as well, so we could use a starter team like this to take this out. So let's give this a go. And I guess we can also play him with other teams as well. He's great to take on go second teams because he hits really hard. He's one of a few tac nukers I feel I don't need a increase accuracy, and it's more of a courtesy when he gets one, or like a bonus when he gets increased attack. But when you're CCing him, it works out quite nice. So we got resisted twice on Armads. So Armads must have the Hana Creation on him. And now we can see that we've got Fears, etc. coming straight out. And we're going to look for the Polymorph. Obviously, we want to close down the Catrixia, etc. So, okay, obviously we're not going to hit Armads. Okay, I guess we're going to go for Marius because he is the threat. Now, again, people seem to forget about Carnage. Carnage can close down Marius with that passive because you will stop him counterattacking. And before you do anything with Carnage, you should be trying to lock down Marius and then flip with him so then you won't get enfeebled or your team gets enfeebled, especially if you're not running block boss as well. So we're just waiting on him here. He does move through his abilities quickly because he's stealing turn meter on the 3rd hit. And then guide again, good night. Okay, let's try and see if we can find some harder teams. We're not far off Plasma Arena. So we should be able to close in here. So we have like a Marishka. We do have a template change, which might be beneficial. And we do have a Sigford who can be a little bit of a problem because Sigvard offers me the strong affinity, right? And there's a lot of passives to deal with. But if we can set up this team correctly, we can close down this team and deal with the Marishka as well. Now, Marishka sometimes can have high resistance, so you have to be careful of that. And you can see here it does have a big bolster set. And it looks like he might win this because he's running a bolster a Sonic set there, but we'll see what we can do. So we're going to go like that and then see if we can sheep her, which we do. Great, that's what we want to see. And now we want to see if we can close down this team. We don't actually have to worry about him dying. We're going to play this ability even with the Marishka being down. And now Sigvard is going to be CC'd and dealt with. And now because of the Lamasu's A2, you can see here, we're going to start stacking on the debuffs. Now, as long as Marishka doesn't die, we should be able to do what we want to do. And now you're going to see in a second how we're going to deal with the Marishka. So we're going to use A2 here on Sigvard to go like that. And then we spread onto Marishka. And you can see here Marishka has blocked up skill. She has a blocked up skill and then the seal as well. And now we've been able to take control of this fight again, which is great. And now because we killed her and Marishka's last one, Marishka is not going to be able to do anything. She's not going to be able to revive the team either. Normally when I see Marishka and Star Sage, the first two nukers I'm thinking of, Marius, KARNAGE. It's a combination between them two, taking on them two situations. Is a absolute beast of animal, and when someone lets in one of the two, it can be a problem. Now, Marishka, no worries, no. 204k damage against a Marishka. Don't know if it was a well-built Marishka, but it was dealt with pretty reasonably and like so. So we have been going into 13 minutes. I'm going to try and find a Star Sage if we can. I'm going to do a couple of refreshes and see if we can find a decent team to kind of showcase this build a bit better. Alright, so we found a Star Sage. We've got Fabian, Ashna, and Marius. So let's go ahead and go into his team and see what we can do here. It depends on the teams, how I play Lamasu. Sometimes I go to A3, sometimes go to A2. It depends on like Stone Skin, etc. So you can see here he's got a Sonic set Fabian, which means we're going to go straight into Fabian, play the lockout here, deal with the counters. We unfortunately get 3%ed on the Marius, which is a little bit frustrating to see. But he's not going to be able to do anything, honestly, because he can get locked down. Very squishy, so he dies to the counter attack. And we'll be able to start working on him here. Star Sage is going to do his shenanigans as well. And then we're going to do this. Now, unfortunately, I was hoping to beat up the Star Sage with the second form. But unfortunately, he's flipped, which makes him a lot easier to kill with KARNAGE. So doesn't really become a contest when then this happens. So we will do our shenanigans. He's got a little bit there. We will kill the Marius. And you can see here that even with the high resistance, he is now completely locked into his form. Can't do anything. You can see it's a fairly decent team. Not the most amazing team. Could have been harder. But it works. It's like a treat. And then we'll release the killing button. Didn't even need the second hit. We dealt with it really well. And his Star Sage has been destroyed. Now we have a Taurus and Marishka here with a Sungwon. Sungwon again, very, very annoying champion. We will not play him because we will die. So let me think on how we will play this. We're going to take out Lamasu and then we're going to bring in a Freya to protect me against a Taurus. That's what we're going to do. So we've got speed and speed, 2-day free sheep. And yeah, okay, cool. Let me do this. Okay, he doesn't cut in because that's fine. Taurus might kill us here. Unfortunately, we get 3%ed on the. We get 3%ed, but we do want back the ability there. Now we have got no stone skin here to deal with, which is sucks. But Marishka deals with it pretty nicely. We will sleep Marishka so she doesn't cleanse. Then Frey will play her defense down, etc. I think we can beat this without honestly doing anything with Armads. Now we can close down the Songwon with this ability, stop him reviving. But honestly, would just waste over 2 abilities like the plot tap skill, and we won't steal any Temita because the monkey will be dead. So Marishka looks like she'll be dead as well. Honestly, it's probably better to try and to go for the Arbiter. Arbiter only made it to 2 hits there, by the way. Not the best Taurus and Marishka teams, but it's fine. And you can see here, we don't even need the block revive, they'll just block out the skill is great for us. We can flip with Mr. Carnage, and then Carnage is going to say, hey, how are you guys? Good night. Take care of yourself. And Taurus was also one shot. Again, not the best Taurus and Marishka, but he is very good against Taurus and Marishka. He's also very good against Odin. Now, I'll be honest, I don't think we're fast enough to deal with this team, unfortunately, but we're going to try for today's showcase. Normally, I wouldn't try this team, or I'd try something like Hedgie or something to make us work. Unfortunately, we are faster, which is really surprising. He's got no pinpoint as well. That's a Forion, which is interesting as well. Now, I really like him against Odin because he can lock Odin down. But unfortunately, Odin's got pinpoint, so I can't CC him at the moment. Best chances we try to remove it like that. Then we can play the sleep. And now, as long as Odin hasn't got polymorph, which he doesn't, you go zap, zap, and you deal the rest of the team. Sulfurion can play the revive. We drop the 10-meter. So I think that'll allow CP to go ahead. Now, because we killed Odin on the 3rd hit, we didn't steal the 10-meter, so we've had to wait for his 10-meter to fill up. He's got the block buffs. There's no reason to wait on the setting the block revive because we pretty much got this in the bag. We had the block buffs ahead of us, so I didn't need to worry about their enfeeble. And then again, Mr. Odin. Shuzhen who? That's what we should be saying. Shuzhen who? Right? He's clearly not faster, even with the better speed aura. But Carnage can have that effect. Now, maybe I should have kept this fight. And again, another reason why to use Carnage is because of his speed aura. He's got really great synergy with a lot of people on this. Now we can also go something like Taurus. So we got UDK here, so we can go with Empress, the Masu. And now we can try something here as well. I say try because I feel like Armads might cause me an issue of what I want to try to do. Okay, let's play the A2. Okay, we got fear off, nice. And then take that off with that. We nearly lose him, but we don't. That's great. And now we play the A3 here. She's going to come back to life. That's fine. Because Marishka's gone. Now, I could have played the shenanigans, set it all up, But you can see, I just wanted to show you that with Embrus, he also causes a lot of problems, right? He's also got a mythical relic or relentless, or maybe the epic one as well on the Armads. Now, obviously, we did lose our Nukas, which is fine because we're going to be able to revive them and be able to finish with them in our second. 10-meter back. And night. Again, Taurus Marishka who, right? So with a 4-piece Instinct and 4-piece Stone Skin. And these are the stats that we're running. So this is going to be form 1. And then this is going to be form 2. So you can see that their HP is only 47,000. But with the built-in continuous heal, it's fine. Now I want speed of 300 in the future when I got the 6-star, whenever Cursey gives it to me. But other than that, everything else is fine. We've got 445 accuracy. You can see it was pretty much to deal with as well. And then really good critical damage. And then just show you for faction wars as well, so you guys can see the faction war bit, what we're packing for that as well. For the relic, I would recommend using necrosis or one is submissive. One of the two. One is submissive, definitely stronger, but I feel like there is other people that you could benefit from the ones. Now, I used to use necrosis because he used to steal 10-meter and then be able to go into the A2 or the A3, which I found was great for him. But I've actually used this because I'm not using this anywhere on my account, so I thought, why not? We get extra gem slots replacements as well in the future, which I don't really have anything right now to kind of put in here. And yeah, I guess for me, for Arena, Lightning Cage is the way to go. You can also go with Soul Reaper's fine. I've seen a few people run that. Team Presence, if you've got 6-star and you're lacking Team Presence, which is fine as well. Then you have a Natural Wrath or Crushing Rem for P versus E, depending on the contents you want to do. If you're going to use Natural Wrath, you're going to use the Crown Relic on him as well. For Arena, you could also go Swift Perry and Stone Skin. I've seen a lot of people run that as well. Personally, I want a bit of ignore defense just in case I don't get the buffs up, etc. And just have that extra Vava Voom. I want him to smack pretty hard. Because I don't always set up the way that I want to with him if there's no need to. Then if I got no increased attack or increased accuracy, then I can just finish him off. I'm using Instinct because of his passive ability on E2. We're stacking up ignore defense plus with the relic as well. We got a lot of ignore defense if Ham Smasher doesn't proc still. I would say one of the most important masteries on him is gonna be Master Hex, and you could definitely take Law Steel. Eagle Eye is an interesting option for the A1 maybe. Now Shield Breaker is only used for the second form because sometimes people do try and take sorry for the first form. The second form ignores shield, so that's the only reason why I've took it. Then I've gone with Ruthless Ambush, Cycle of Violence as usual, and then the other shenanigans here as well. There's a lot of options on the masteries. You can even go defense tree if you really wanted to give it extra chance of counter-attacking, which I think is a waste, but you know, it's hey ho. Death Dealer is also a very reliable relic for him. I'm actually going to be using this for Faction Wars for a while to help me finish Faction Wars, and it's going to go on. I was going to put on Carnage, but I'm going to put on Embrus instead because Embrus is HP based, and he's going to be able to survive the shenanigans from the downside of it. Anyway, that is it for today's video, guys. A bit of a long one, I know, but hopefully you enjoyed it. As usual, guys, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I guess I've been Grim. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace. Bye-bye.